Good evening, gamers. Welcome back. I am the AMDM Lee. Well, this is my cup of coffee, and let's face it, you're watching a commercial. So here's what I want to do. The whole reason this commercial is here is I wanted to point out these items right here on the side. Now, the first item on there is our Monday night Q&A. Every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. ish, gamer time. I go live on TikTok and here on Twitch to, well, talk about D&D. I answer questions. We have our homebrew mechanic build a device. We challenge him each week. He either homebrews a class or race or feat or spell. And all of that homebrew is inspired by you guys. But we talk for a few hours on all kinds of things. Then on Tuesday night, we have our Order of the... No, sorry, that's not Tuesday nights. Tuesday nights are the Black Door. The Black Door is a group of assassins set in the Weird West. They have the city of Sunlot, which they were originally in. It's a coastal town, which their Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild have been mysteriously overrun. So they've left town, and now they're on the open road. They've stopped a bank robbery. Now they're hunting down some lost people. They're helping a caravan along the way. There's all kinds of adventure. On Wednesday nights, we jump over. We here on this channel start hosting the Chaotic Rollers, which is an amazing group of RPers where we sit down and I actually get to play. That's the amazing part of it. It's, of course, I'm there. It's not the problem. I am Brat, God of War, or I can be Davish Ran, Gunsinger Extraordinaire. But we get to have a lot of fun with that one. Thursday nights I take the night off. I relax, have a cup of coffee, watch a movie or two. Typical things. But I believe we host Hilarious Game Master. If not, we will soon. If he does it on Thursdays, we host him. Then on Friday nights are our biggest nights on here. That is when we do the Order of the Scale game. Now, the Order of the Scale is a group of military soldiers and misfits that have been sent from all over Sakaris to this particular order. The order is the right hand of the Sultan. There's been turmoil. There's been betrayal. There's been love, laughter, and death. There's a lot of things going on there. And that campaign is not only run here on Twitch on the Fridays, but it is also RP'd all through the week on our Discord server. It is a living campaign world that is being built there. Would you like to be a part of that? It's a lot of fun. And I have two other DMs on there, Angel with a Sin and Adirante, who RP at two different times a week, once on Sundays, I believe on Thursday nights, where they RP for the channel and send them on missions as well. So there's a lot of chance for growth on that. The last thing I want to talk about real quick, after that all RP, that's all the RP, that's all the stuff we do on there. No, it's not. There's a lot. And all of that is helped from you guys. And these links right here, let's see, this one goes this way. Yeah. So right here, these links right here help us out to provide all of this stuff for you. It helps with our Patreon. It helps with our giveaways. On our Discord channel, we give a set of dice away each week. Plus, I have the BBEG. That's right, the BBEG, the Big Box Extreme Giveaway, which we keep adding to. And it's just getting bigger. And it does this because of the support from you guys. You can help us out with Patreon. Go on there. We have 4 levels. We have a $3 level, which is just basically you going, hey, I like your stuff. Here's a couple of bucks. But that gives you access to our council room, to our parliament, but you get to vote on things that happen within the server, things that we do in the future. You have a say in. It also gives you access to that homebrew stuff that we build on Monday night. It gives you access 1 week earlier than anyone else. Then there's the $10 level, which is a little more of saying, hey, yeah, thanks a lot. We do appreciate this. We have a lot of fun here. And hey, can I put a character in? And I take an NPC that you have made, be they a shopkeeper, a council member, a wizard in a tower. It doesn't matter. You create this character, you give me all of their information, and I put them in one of my streamed games. It's as easy as that. Then we have the $20 level. That level there is the approved player level. See that Thursday night that I'm off? Well, that's saved for the approved player games. Those games may or may not be streamed depending on what the players themselves choose. We run a guaranteed game the last Thursday of the month for them. The more players I get, the more of those Thursdays that will be filled up with approved players. Would you like to be an approved player? Do you want me to run a game for you? Go to our Patreon, sign up, and I will make sure you play in a game that I run. Last thing on here, you see that down there at the bottom underneath the Patreon thing? It's a Zazzle, but I'm going to get to that later. But that's a spot where you can come and support the AMDM and get yourself some cool gear. That's all I've got for now. Till next time, go forth and roll some dice. Remember me talking about cool gear just a couple of moments ago? Here's some of the cool gear that we have. We have various products from bandanas to official AMDM approved player tags to shirts to coffee mugs, bracelets, stickers, face masks, socks, shoes, coasters, bandanas, playing cards, buttons, more socks, hats, more coffee cups, more mugs. We have headbands and bandanas. Now, these bandanas, I call them my battlefield bandanas. Why? Because they are all set up in 1-inch grids to be used as a battle map. You can take these bandanas. They're a 22-inch by 22-inch bandana. And why does that pop up? I don't know. Because you can unlock 20% off your order by putting in your email address. These bandanas are really nice. It's the only battlefield that I know of that you can fold up and put in your pocket. They're absolutely 100% gorgeous. And every map I use on my game will eventually become a battle map. So come check us out at Zazzle.com/theAMDM.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Order of the Scale, where we have a group of our players within the order going through their busy season. Considering a couple of weeks ago they took out Tiamat, and today, well, they've been asked to investigate some sounds, some strange sounds coming from a warehouse down by the docks. Apparently, right beforehand, some of them got into a tussle with some zombies that were roaming the streets before they made it here, I'm guessing. There's a lot of role play that goes on that I'm completely oblivious of. So you've headed out. You have a chance, I believe, right now before you head out to this warehouse to collect any potions or gear that you believe you may need for this investigation.
No, because the last magical sword that was in there, you lost on Horton.
Oh yes,
True.
Horton
Okay.
drug to the nine hells.
Is there a place I can buy potions?
There might be some potions left in a stockpile. I don't know how many's left.
I don't know. To the treasury.
You've gathered that up. Check the treasury real quick.
Where would I look to see if there are any left? Because I clicked on the treasury thing and it didn't bring up anything.
That I'm not sure on, Angel.
Okay, sorry, I'll hop in. Under player resources, there's a link there for the treasury.
For those who are watching, we have a lot going on our Discord server. This is just our...
Because I'm organizing things. Sorry.
well, no, I mean, yes, and thank you, Angel, for that. And anybody watching, if you want somebody to organize your Discord server, Angel will for a small fee. Or a large fee, depending on how generous she is.
Is it 10,000? Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
10,000 rupees.
Player resource. My brain is...
Treasury is on top, under player resources. Let's see.
So while they're doing that, if you like what you're seeing here, come join us on our Discord server. It's the table. I'm not sure where to do that. My normal guys aren't here to post it up. I need to.
There says there's 28 potions of healing, common ones.
And you can also check us out at Patreon and our Zazzle store.
We got... Looks like... 5 people, so everyone
There's 6 of y'all.
6. I only see
Usually-
5 tokens.
Usually 2 per person.
If y'all
Yeah.
notice, there's a little green dot right over here.
Yes.
That is the only set of doors into this. There's a set of large wooden doors. And then just a warehouse surrounded by streets on all sides. The windows, as you join up to the warehouse, which is what all of these are all blacked out.
Robbie, there is actually a Moon Touch longsword. There is a listing for a longsword +1 and a short sword, but both those were taken out because the treasury I don't think has been updated recently. But there is a Moon Touch longsword in there that you could use.
Okay, just for this mission.
Sure.
Thanks.
So y'all can put yourselves in the streets, because right now y'all are all in a building.
Now you grab potions from treasury, and I knew that I would grab them for you. So everyone gets 2 potions.
And the streets themselves, there are people milling about, going about their everyday business. You are the warehouse district is down near the docks because that is the easiest place for unloading ships and such. And you're directed to this individual warehouse. I'm gonna switch over to Albert now.
AMDM real quick.
Yes.
Due to my character's backstory being an urchin of this particular area, is there a possible like another route into the warehouse that he may know of, like some sort of like smuggler's route or something?
Into this particular warehouse, give me a history roll.
Okay. History roll will be a 12 plus 5, 17.
17. You know, some warehouses will have some secret entrances through sewers and things like that. But for this specific warehouse, you're not 100% sure.
Okay.
You could go searching for one, but again,
I'd rather stick with the party. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
not every warehouse is a home of nefarious deeds.
Right. Right.
Only the fun ones.
So the
Who put an image on token? What is my token of an image?
so there is your token seems kind of small.
It,
Oh,
what-
you're never mind.
No,
you're-
mine for some reason has an image of I don't even know what
It's a blue person like you.
I know I didn't do this.
No, I stuck it on there for.
Oh, okay. Cool. I was very confused. Thank you.
All right,
It's
so
pretty.
the side you're on, these are all windows here, and from what you can tell, they all look blacked out. The strange sounds is people have said they've heard screaming. Coming from within. But nothing else. It's just been a couple of times and it's been silent. The other thing that y'all have been told, they have seen people have entered and left. And they all seem to be wearing like simple white trousers and shirts. Just very simple, but all of them just stark white.
As a quick point of order, Brachium is going to, while he's walking, is going to cast Crown of Stars so that he has that ready. That lasts for an hour, so it's pretty safe to do it right now.
All right, what does Crown of Stars do?
I have 7 floating motes above my head, and as a bonus action, I can shoot them out as radiant bolts of energy.
Okay.
Yep, they stay there for an hour. And it's not concentration, so that's also very handy.
So what are y'all gonna do?
I guess cast mage armor right off the bat. Do we have a leader?
Yeah, the captain.
Okay.
Hello.
Oh,
I'm thinking.
follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Yeah, when the smoke out of his brain stops coming out, you know he's got a plan.
Oh, okay.
No, that's when you hear the ding. Uh, I'm wanting to look in the windows and see if we shine a light through it, if we can see. So get like a torch and try to shine the light through if we can see through the window, or is it just pitch black?
No, what you see is it looks like the windows have been painted black.
Mm.
They've been
Oh,
painted
that's
from the
not
inside.
suspicious. That's not suspicious at all.
So the logical thing is to break all the windows.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
What would
Don't
we
be
be?
suspicious.
Burn down the building.
Now that we know the windows were painted on, we know someone's in there. So I don't suggest we start breaking windows and scare them to scaring out of a hole they can find.
Ilana, you're heading around to the side of the building there?
Yes, I am. I mean, this is our entrance. I'm not going in yet. I'm just waiting for everybody else to catch up.
Now, this building is probably about 3 stories tall. It's very tall warehouse. Most of the warehouses are around 2 stories. This one is a full other story above.
All right.
Are there any more windows up high?
There are some windows on every floor, but just even doing a cursory glance up, you can see that they are blacked out.
I'll paint it in.
Brachium will fly up and check the roof. As his dragon wings spread out, he will take flight.
Flying over the top, you see even the skylights in this have been blacked out. But give me a perception roll.
All right. I can do that.
In fact, all of y'all give me perception rolls.
Ooh.
Okay.
7.
Okey-dokey.
Not very good on my part.
9.
Nope, 12.
13.
14. They must have did an update on D&D Beyond because I get a +4 die to add in my perceptions because of my background, and then actually add the die roll in there.
Hmm.
It's either that or the one program I'm using, but still, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, there was a recent update.
Sweet.
Okay. Yeah. So, Marcus,
Yes.
you were the
I got an 11.
yeah.
I see shoots.
Actually, y'all don't notice anything out of the ordinary except that all the windows are blacked out.
either some kids are having parties in here and blacked out the windows so nobody would notice, or
or whatever product they're processing in here does not do well in sunlight.
that too. That too.
Shame if someone actually accidentally casts sunlight while inside.
Oh, all the film.
You ruined all my
All
film.
right. So the way that this building is built on the outside, can we tell that it is the 3 stories are just the height, but it's one giant warehouse, or
Yes.
do we know that it has other floors?
Having seen the inside, you can see where from the outside it looked like it would have had other floors to it due to the windows. But being a warehouse, they could just be catwalks.
Okay.
Well, I suggest we quietly go through the only entrance we know of. Unless someone wants to try the sewer grate.
That's what I was thinking. Do we know that if the sewer grate leads in that way?
Or is that just for decoration?
Well, it's a street.
The grate is a mimic.
Trash has got to go somewhere.
Well, if we look down into it, can we see like pathways down in?
No, you look down into it and you see a storm sewer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that's not going to help us.
All right. Then I will fly just kind of 10 feet above the ground, aimed at the door, waiting for someone to open
I
it.
am going to investigate the door to see if there are traps.
Okay.
Or buried.
Investigation. 27.
27. This door does not appear to be trapped.
Is it locked?
It does seem to have now this is not just a single door here. This is a 10-foot
Double door.
wide, 15-foot tall double wooden door. You know, the double doors that open up. It's typical in a large warehouse.
Yes.
Surface
And-
entrance.
It does, you just by pulling on it to pull it open, there appears to be something blocking it.
From the inside. Okay.
So the doors swing in or swing out?
The doors swing inward.
Okay.
Okay, we need a really big credit card.
Oh my word.
Fly in.
Why is everyone looking at the orc?
I wasn't particularly, but okay.
Is there a gap in between the doors that I can peek through, or is it extremely close together?
It's extremely close. Peeking through, you can see what appears to be a piece of wood that's overlapping. So you can't actually, it looks like you have to, if the doors were open and closed, they have to be closed in a certain order. You know, the one on the left and then the one on the right. Because
Yes. Well, my brain just shut off for a sec. 1 sec.
So much for a quiet entrance.
Is the gap I'm seeing big enough for something thin to fit through?
you would hit that piece of wood that's overlapping between the two. There's a piece of wood that's overlapping the gap in the door from the inside.
Okay.
Could be a crossbar.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's like, have you ever seen like school doors?
Think of it like a
where
French door
one of the doors
refrigerator.
has a lip.
Yeah. Yep.
Nah, so
Jared-
it's not something we can push off with something.
No.
Now, Jared, how Omen Opus cabinets are?
Okay, thank you. That's much better.
Yep, you're welcome.
Now, how silently can I break a window?
Does anyone know silent?
Captain, are you forgetting something?
Uh,
The answer is yes.
does anyone know how to teleport? Wait, they can't see in.
Captain,
Yes,
you are forgetting something.
I forget many things.
What is it that you do that you haven't done yet? Would it not be wise to buff us with your little machine before we go in?
Well, I want to figure our way in before I make it.
Why?
Because the longer I can have it, we need our plan of entry and then buff.
Plan of entry will probably require us breaking in or doing something to whoever's in there anyways. If that
Yes,
happens
and
and they're
before we
prepared
do
and we get
that-
attacked,
Yes, that's why I will do it before we do that.
Well, does anyone know how to lockpick?
There's no lock to pick, Matt. It's just that board blocking us from opening the door.
Oh,
Looking to
so
see.
so if we try to pull the door, nothing happens.
you're going to have to break the door.
And it opens inward. I mean, unless suddenly somebody knows, I miss the
Knock.
old knock spell.
Right. Oh man, I wish I knew knock.
Now the best I can do is shatter.
I just for fun, I cast thaumaturgy on the door. If it's not technically locked, it will open. But if not, then
It is barred in a manner that will not allow thaumaturgy to open it. But it does
worth a
shake.
shoot.
Well,
Like it rattles like
you
it
just
tries
rang
to
the
open.
doorbell.
Maybe someone will open the door.
Mm.
And after
I'm
a
trying
couple
to
of minutes,
see if
after that happens, you hear something on the other side of the door.
Excellent.
It sounds like a piece of wood scraping up against wood. And then the
Ready action.
right side of the door opens just a couple inches, and you see an elf sticking his head out going, "Can I help you?"
hello. I
Hello.
hear about some disturbances.
Some disturbances. No.
We got the right warehouse. People have been talking about hearing screams.
Oh, are you members of the guard?
Order.
The order. Ah, would you like to come in?
Yes, that would be
The
nice.
first thing.
Give me a second.
One thing you did now, you were caught off guard by somebody actually opening the door, but now you notice it is brighter inside than it is outside. As it's getting on to evening now, the inside is still extremely bright. As he swings the door open, stepping back, allowing y'all to see inside,
Oh, the suspense is killing me.
inside this building, you see a lush garden. The smells in the air are very there. You smell roses and lavenders, all kinds of flowering plants. There's a hint of cherry blossom in the air. Glancing inside, you see various fruit trees, different flowers all over the place, flower patches.
Oh, no.
This is a really lush garden. Very well manicured. The individual that opened the doors wearing a simple white jerkin with simple pants. Glancing around, you see several people here. All seem to be tending this garden.
Yeah.
They're all dressed in the same white shirt, white pants.
We found Punk Auntie Pinky's garden.
Please, come in.
Okay, now, and as we're walking in, I'm going to, behind my back, activate my cannon, and a little shimmer come across me and my crew. As we all get
If you're within 10 feet of you.
Yes. That's why he would wait for everyone to get close before activating. So, grab some Brackium, get in here. There you go. And 1, 2. Roll. That is shit. That is 9 temporary hit points.
See what happens when you spend too much time in your laboratory instead of out and like doing things.
Burn.
Okay.
Usually it's when I'm in my laboratory, that's when these things do better.
As you step in, first you are caught off guard by the smells. And again, the light in here, it is full-blown daylight. Looking up, you see floating near the ceiling is a larger than average globe of sunshine.
Nice place.
Oh, thank you. It is the garden.
As soon as I step in, I like to activate Eyes of the Grave.
Looking for
Undead.
Undead.
If there's that's the only thing I can see with this ability. Up to 60 feet. Just precaution.
No one that you can see is undead.
Good.
Yet.
All right.
Brackium will remain kind of hovering like 10 feet off the ground, just because there seems to be room in this area for that.
Oh, yeah. You're looking at let's see, probably about a 45-foot ceiling.
So there's no upper floor. It's just one giant open area.
Just one giant open area. And you can see, because there are trees in here that are 15, 20 feet tall.
I bet there's tomato plants hiding somewhere too.
Oh, probably so.
It's all a mimic.
So that's what happened to the bird that was eating Mom's tomatoes.
I'm gonna use my divine sense. I can detect celestial, undead, and fiends. Up to 60 feet. Till 60 feet.
You do not detect any undead, celestials, or fiends.
So, who owns the
Hey,
warehouse and
we
the
are narrowing
establishment?
our. Oh, hey, we are narrowing our things. That's good.
Now,
Well, my ass.
Marcus, you were saying something? Grave. Were you asking the guy that opened the door? Or
I didn't
just...
say anything.
Oh, I thought somebody asked about who the owner.
That would be myself, Scrap. Sorry, I was wondering who owns the warehouse or who maybe is running the establishment.
Who are you are you just saying that out loud or just asking?
I'm asking the person that we first saw. Maybe.
Oh, the owner would happen to be Okia. Right over there. And he points to a older human dressed in very natural fibers and in different just very natural fibered robes, but they're all in like they're all been dyed different shades of greens and yellows. And the dyes, you can tell you get vibrant dyes when you actively mix different colors over and over and concentrations and such. You can see these were probably not very concentrated dyes, just very natural dye tones.
Is Akia this flower, the leaf guy,
Yes.
the leaf symbol? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me change her name. And you can see her. She's got a couple of different little bitty plants in her hand, and she appears to be chanting. And you watch these small little plants just grow a little bit. They're not growing like super fast, but enough that your eyes notice. Before she starts putting them in this little trays for like potted plants.
Yeah, I can do a little bit of that too.
But could we identify maybe what kind of spell they're using? Are they using like Druidcraft or?
Give me an Arcana roll.
Okay.
I roll that too.
Sure.
Okay.
Considering I actually
Okay.
have that spell.
27.
Oh, you actually have Druidcraft? Then yes, you would recognize Druidcraft. And any Arcana over a 10 would recognize that as basic Druidcraft.
Brachium is going to look at the man that let us all through the door. Can I roll any kind of insight check on him or anything to just make sure that he's kind of all there?
Yeah.
Because this seems odd.
I'm getting a bit of cult vibes.
Yeah. That is a 13. I don't think that's going to be.
They are acting odd. You are getting some sort of vibe, but it's I don't know. You said you're looking for like cult type things.
Kind of just making sure that he's in his right mind is my thought. Like, are his pupils like dilated? Does
No.
he kind of fidget, or is he standing like still like a statue thing?
Well, he is an elf, so there is a little bit of grace to it.
Right.
I have an odd
Hmm.
question.
Hmm. Hmm?
The majority of the plants I can see, do they appear to be native to this area, or
Give me a nature roll.
oh Lord?
I will help her with that because I have proficiency in nature.
As do I. I have a 21.
Okay.
Yeek.
We'll take
Eek.
Scrap.
16.
4.
yeah. So the 21 helps a whole lot. You do notice several of the plants that are native in the area. Actually, not that many of the native plants are here because most of the native plants thrive in a harsher environment.
That's kind of what I was wondering, but I
The-
was wondering with all the druidcraft if maybe I knew some of them.
Now you do recognize some of these plants as not being from the area, but you recognize an oak tree, you recognize maple, spruce, all these different types of trees that you've seen and dealt with all through the world itself. And then there are a couple of plants that you don't recognize.
Uh, are they anything from the Feywild? Since that's my home.
No.
Okay. Just curious.
And I'm going to
Actually, give me a history roll.
Me?
Yes, whoever's from the Feywild.
Okay. Moment. Find it. Where are you hiding? There you are. Oh, goodness. Okay. Come on, roll good. Be nice. Nope. I didn't. I'm drawing a blank.
Now, as far as you can tell, nothing from the Feywild.
Okay.
I mean,
Hey,
you've seen various types of plants in the Feywild, but nothing that would be like native to the Feywild.
Okay, that makes sense. Fluid as it is.
I'm gonna cast detect magic.
Well, there is a large globe of daylight above the heads shining down on this entire room.
Yes, but I'm using this to see if there are any different types of magic that aren't usual.
Hidden within the weave of magic.
Yes.
Yeah, you do detect magic. Several of the plants in here have transmutation magic on them.
I can bet it's from the druid craft spell.
Hmm.
DM, can I talk with G over here and ask him how did he got here?
Now, G is a half orc.
So I can talk with him because I'm an orc.
Her.
Oh, sorry,
Assume
her.
Barrier. Done.
So you want to
Yes, I
Hello?
wanted to talk to G.
Yes.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I was wondering, how do you got to this beautiful place?
I usually walk.
Sorry.
Why do I feel I'm talking to Orcus?
That's how I.
Because you are. Remove the mask.
No, I
No,
usually walk.
Bras, mother.
no. I meant, how do you got here in the first place? How were you introduced to this beautiful garden?
Oh, I was hired
By who?
by Okia.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day.
Okay. And she goes back to watering some of the plants that are there.
I go back to Colborne. Captain, it looks like everything goes back to Okia. Maybe it's the best choice to talk to her.
Yeah, I'm about to do that.
I was actually going to ask if I could go over and speak with her.
I'll come with.
Me too.
Can I offer a suggestion of questions of permits, sanctions, or otherwise?
Yeah, I was gonna ask for her papers.
Okay.
Don't
No, I
be
wasn't going
scared
there,
on the
but
plants.
I am stepping around all the plants.
I'd just fly over them, take the short route.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm flying over the plants that I'm near.
Okay, so where my character is that like a tree or
Well, the
what
trees are
is
going to be
that?
the large green things. I mean, this thing is this
Bobby, stop
area
stepping on me.
is more come. There are more plants in here than what is on this map. This place is packed full. There are paths that run through that you can see are common, where they try to avoid walking through. They keep their footprint very minimum.
Mm.
But it is not difficult terrain anywhere.
Mm.
But I walk up to Kia.
Oh. Morning, evening, which one is it?
It would be evening.
Evening. I'm and Okia points up to the globe there, goes, it's sometimes I lose track.
Oh, I bet.
Guard members. Can
We
I
are with the order.
order? Oh,
We came here.
as far as I'm
We
aware, it's the
came.
same thing.
We came here because of some witnesses hearing screaming and whatnot, and they were worried, so we came here to check it out.
No, there's. I don't know of any screaming. We've just been here.
Insight check.
Yeah.
Roll it.
5.
Let me see what I can get.
You have now joined her cult.
17.
Natural 1. Plus 7 to in.
You're
I
losing
got
OTS
nothing.
members.
Marcus.
Grave got a 20.
Oh shit.
So Grave got a 23.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes, Grave, all the way over there, inciting the tree.
He's keeping an eye on things.
I got an 19 on the die, but 18 because I got a negative 1.
So, in other words, the only person is Grave.
I was
Uh,
I was about to ask a question that might actually work with insight, but go ahead.
oh, just something about her mannerisms, Marcus. Yeah.
Something's funny going on, eh?
Something funny. That's
Captain.
not quite. There's
Ah.
something up.
Look over at Grave through the bushes.
He looks at Pobar and he kind of shakes his head sideways, like, "Nope."
Mm.
The look on his face is like something's up, but he doesn't want to say it out loud. He just shakes his head, like, "Mm-mm." And he grips his mace a little tighter and moves his shield just a little bit, and was looking at the rest of these people around him.
Can I take a look at the trees? Are there any weird formations on the trees? Like, I don't know, faces?
Do they look like mandrake roots?
Give me a
Or
perception roll.
has anyone watched Magi in the Magic Labyrinth?
Yes.
When they went into
Yes.
the Earth Jin's domain?
Yep. Yep.
11.
11.
Wait, I have advantage on this because I have my Sentinel shield. 16.
16. You don't see faces on the trees, but there are 3 of them that stick out to you as being they're not necessarily trees. They're just very large plants. Very large flowering plants.
I hate that roll on the wild magic table.
As this is happening, Brachium will start circling the area, flying above the trees to see if there's anything odd from that point of view.
Hold on a moment. Let me. The 3 that you notice are odd. Brachium is now flying directly over one.
Excellent.
Another one is over here. And another one is over here.
Would I be able to glance at more intensely at the one that's close to me?
Who said that?
That would be Pobar.
Okay, looking at this one here.
Yeah.
Give me a nature roll with advantage.
Yay. 1. I got 20 for my advantage. I rolled a dirty 20 and a 14.
You've seen a Venus flytrap. And you're 90% sure this is in the same family. Maybe it is. It's got that same pitcher plant Venus flytrap as this is a. You kind of believe this might be a carnivorous plant.
Yeah, something big enough to eat a human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you think it's some sort of carnivorous plant.
Huh. That circle's not ominous at all.
I'm gonna look at Okaya, trying to be as calm and not as threatening as possible. Would I be able to see your papers for running this establishment?
Papers for running the establishment.
Requirements to be able to work within the warehouse, you require permits from the city.
Ah. Hold on. Let's see.
These are not the
Caraway.
plants you were looking for.
Caraway. And way down here is C. Starts moving up. Yes, ma'am. Could you get these gentlemen the documentation for the building? Ah, yes, ma'am, I can. And moves over here. Is there any reasoning?
Just procedure.
Seems like an odd procedure.
Well, we gotta know if you actually own the place.
Well, yes,
or are allowed to work here.
I've
Just
owned
doing
this
our job.
I've owned this place for, well, probably longer than any of you have been alive.
I didn't go that far.
Now, as we're waiting for the guy that bring papers, can I do another perception check on the plant, see if there's like any blood or scraps of cloth around them?
Yeah, which ones you gonna go check on?
Well, the one that's right next to me.
All right. Yeah, so you're gonna check on A.
Yes, I rolled a natural 20.
All right. As you're kind of looking around, you hear Okaya go, "Oh, bother." And
Oh.
might as well let's just go ahead and roll initiative.
About to say I've got a 17 passive insight, so I'm watching her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you
Word.
definitely
He would be
seen.
looking around, but keeping an eye on her.
Yeah. Oh,
So
this is
it's
gonna be
15.
Oh god.
Ooh. That's bad for a few of y'all.
I got a 15, so I'm hoping that doesn't mean me.
No, he's talking about the low rolls.
Yeah.
There's some horrendously bad ones.
So Pobar,
Yeah.
oh, damn. As you were investigating this tree, this vine lashes out, takes a swipe at you, but being slightly on edge, you were able to dodge out of the way. As now that you see that this plant has these vines that are start to flow out, as well as the other two. And this mouth-like protrusion opens up on these plants. Ileana, you go first.
Am I top of the order again? Dang it.
Yes, you are.
Okay.
The
first thing
next
I'm
thing
gonna
you
do
hear,
is-
right before your action, before you go, you hear Okia go, might as well feed them to the plants.
I figured as much. Okay. In Sylvan, just because I'm a punk, I'll yell, "Not today!" and fly straight up for the moment. What have I'm gonna say 20 feet.
20 feet up.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
If you're flying, put a white
Yeah.
ring around your character.
okay, I can do that.
I think Brachium's flying as well.
Captain, plants, or leader?
Right now, aim for the leader. We'll deal with the plants.
Okay, Okia should make me a dex save.
Double checking something real quick.
Okay.
All right, dexterity saving throw. Damn, it's a natural 1.
Well, she's got that glow going on. Fairy fire.
Where'd you fire that?
Over. Hang on, a marker. Over this direction.
Very
Far enough
fire.
away not to target any party members.
Oh,
But I believe I
yeah,
can get
still.
Okia and, well, let's see, 5, 10, 15, and I can barely catch C.
All right, let's see if what's the DC? That is not on a 3, you son of a bitch. That's on a 17. Okay.
The DC is 15.
No, it's the thing said a 3, so we're gonna go with 3.
Okay. I've seen D&D Beyond do that. You swear it's sitting on one and it gives you the one next to it.
Of course, it's hard to tell because I'm using these.
No matter where you would fire it to, it would hit B as well. Firing it over an area.
It's only a 20-foot cube.
And he hits
So if I'm
C.
hitting C, I'm not hitting B.
No, I found a place where a 20-foot cube would hit B and C.
So the way I read a 20-foot cube is 4 square by 4 square. By 4 high.
So I'm using the measurement thing.
Well, that measures radius. Hang on. So it would be 5, 10. Well, I don't have the draw tool. Where'd it go?
Yeah, you would hit B as well.
That's still not drawing. 5, 10, 15, 20.
You firing it from right there?
There's your 20-foot cube.
Yeah.
So yeah, B would be outside of it, unfortunately. But he's also the furthest from the party, so.
All right. So they have. What
That
is
is going.
Is this what
Go
is
ahead.
this? What'd you
Fairy
hit?
fire.
Fairy fire, which does.
Yes. Each object in the 20-foot cube is outlined in blue, green, or violet light, your choice. Failed dexterity saving throw, you glow. They shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against the affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. And none of those creatures can benefit from invisibility.
Oh, there, they're all green seems to be the appropriate color.
All right, that will be the end of my turn.
Good. Because now it's my turn. Because you're not the only one that rolled a 20 on initiative.
Not a fan of being head of the class as a caster.
So, Brachium, you're 30 feet up.
Yeah, I'm 30 feet up.
Okay. So, A and B come here. C. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes up to Grave. And attacks. With a 17 to hit.
No.
No. So it comes up and just swings at you.
Okay. Take on the shield.
Let's see, that was C. D comes. To Pobar. Swings. For 7.
That's definitely not gonna hit.
Yeah. E comes up to Pobar and swings. Motherfucker for an 11. All of these guys
Nope.
are going first here. Sorry. F comes up to Robbie. Tries to hit him. I might have to change my dice. G tries to hit Robbie.
Come on, I thought we connected.
My God, I haven't
Don't
rolled
connect
higher
already.
than a fucking 5.
Oh no.
Come on, we connected. Thank you for not hitting me. You're beautiful.
See, that was G, H.
You connected. Yes, ask him a question.
Hey, I was being nice to her.
H makes it to here. I 20 was there. J comes to hit. Let's see, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Nope, doesn't make it quite that far. Gets there, takes a swing at Robbie. For a 14 to hit. And K comes up to Grave. for a nat 20 for a total of 24 to hit him.
You are so goddamn lucky I don't have an ability yet.
Silvery barbs. He has to reroll.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, go fuck yourself.
That's a 17 plus 4, so a 21 to hit.
That will hit.
All right.
At least
So
it's not a crit.
It's not a crit. So you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As you're paying attention and seeing all this going on, you turn just in time. He cold cocks you.
Ow.
It hit harder than it should. You've been punched before.
Mm-hmm.
This hit a little bit harder than a normal punch.
Oh, that's not good.
They're fucking monks.
Right, that brings us to L. And L only makes it to there. Pobar.
Wow. Looks like I'm surrounded. So I am going to cast. Figuring out for the thunder wave. Cube in front of me, so it has to branch off of me. So if I aim it this way, would it hit them? Yeah. So E and D, and no, she's right out of the range. So E and D need to make me do con saves.
Also, if you're worried about me, I'm over your head.
Right, I forgot about that.
So that's a 9 and a 18. So D made a
Well,
9,
one
E is an
matches.
18.
One matches, the 18 matches.
Oh, 18 matches, tie goes to the defender.
So he passes. So he will only take half. Half of.
Oh, I'm sorry, that wasn't an 18.
15.
That ended up being a 20. Forgot about their plus
Oh,
2.
well.
He
They
passes
only
anyway.
take half the 15, and they'll take the 8 damage from my arcane firearm. Take an extra 2 to that, and then I'm going to look at Thunderwave's description. If he fails, he gets pushed
10 feet.
10 feet away from me. Yeah, so the one that fails gets pushed 10 feet away from me.
And how much damage did he take?
He would take 17, the 15 plus the 2 from my arcane firearm.
So the full damage is 17?
Yes.
Oh, that hurt bad. That hurt real bad. And you said if they save, they take half damage?
Yes, so they would
15.
take half of the 15, but the 2 is not half because that comes from my arcane firearm.
So, okay. So 15
So
and
they
half.
would take
8 points. 9, 10
plus
points
2,
total.
so they would take 10.
He's hurt, but
Nice,
not
Thunderwave.
near as bad as the other one.
Thank you. And now for my allies that are within range, I roll my temporary hit points. They all get 17 temporary hit points who are within my range. So, how high up are you, Lena?
Ilana.
Ileana is 20 feet up.
Ileana. Oh, okay. So you're out of my range, but Scraps and Robbie are not. So Scraps and Robbie get 17 temporary hit points.
Nice.
Thanks, Captain.
Hell yeah.
No problem.
All right, is that your turn,
Right.
Pobar?
Yeah, he just yells out, I think you already know this, but weapons free.
Fire at will. Which one's will?
Scraps.
All right. I touch a rope in my backpack and I cast rope trick. You touch a length of rope that is up to 60 feet long. One end of the rope then rises into the air until the whole rope hangs perpendicular to the ground, yada yada. I create an extra dimensional space that can be reached by climbing up to the top of the rope. I can designate the length of the rope. The space can hold as many as 8 medium or smaller creatures. The rope can be pulled into the space, making the rope disappear from view outside of the space. Attacks and spells can't cross through the entrance into or out of the extra dimensional space, but those inside can see out as if through a 3-foot by 5-foot window centered on the rope. So I cast that and I enter it.
Okay. You're not carrying a bag of
And
holding, are you?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
And
With
I
a
end my
bag.
turn.
And then you said you end your turn?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what spell level is
Level 3, I believe.
it's level 3
Rangers
ro-
can get it
for
when they're
rope trick?
5th level, so it's a 3rd level split, yeah.
Okay. So Okia sees Scraps climb that rope up in the X and goes, "Oh no, child. We've got to feed the plants." And cast a spell magic on it.
Okay.
Any third level or lower the target on the target end. Any spell lower the third level or lower ends it.
Okay.
Brachium would like to counterspell, please.
Oh.
Or a counter.
Yes,
Yep.
Brachium saw her dispel magic and threw the Uno reverse card.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay.
And that's why he has the other effective silvery barbs.
And that one automatically just spells third level or lower, right?
Correct.
The spell magic does not go off. But now Okia looks over and goes, "Oh."
You hear the fun one.
That sounded sensual. I'm concerned.
Oh.
Oh, I'm pretty sure she enjoys feeding people to the plants.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
And that ends her turn. Actually, yeah, that ends her turn. Robbie.
Wait, my turn?
Yes.
Oh, I rolled low. I didn't think it was my turn already. Okay.
We're already down to the low rolls.
Okay. So I go after okay. Okay, I have to remember that. Okay. So she's gonna be cursed. Has Blake cursed on her? That was my bonus action. Then, first of all, I'm gonna attack F. I have advantage on him. Of course, I'm gonna attack him first. So a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah. They're not wearing any armor.
So that will be a 12 damage.
All right.
I'm gonna take him down. I'm gonna attack him again. What was it? 23 to hit?
Yep. Yep.
11 damage.
Looking pretty bad off. This is something else y'all notice. With these, well, now with this slashes that have cut into it, there's not blood coming out.
Sap?
It seems to be more of this white, milky substance.
Like sap, basically, like tree sap. Plant sap.
Kind of, yeah.
They're fucking not real No, my god. What a. I wonder why they're hitting
Okay,
hard.
so I connected with a plant.
Yes, you have a green thumb, my friend.
It'll be green, all right.
Don't worry, most.
Oh, now I'm seeing red.
So does that end your turn?
That's all I can do for now.
All right, Marcus.
Okay, Marcus, can I see Okia?
There is. I'm gonna give her 3/4 cover.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because she can have all the cover in the world as long as I can see her. I can see her.
Yeah.
I look straight at her. Power of Xandus, I curse you! Brachium, destroy her! She is now cursed. There is no save. There is no nothing.
Okay.
And when Brachium hits her, she is vulnerable to all the damage he does in his turn. So she basically takes automatically double damage.
Okay.
So I'm telling Brachium to hit her. And that's my move. I've channeled the power of Xandus to this curse on her. She seems to be the biggest threat, so I'm going to throw that in there before I go down, or if anything happens bad to me. So, all right, there we go. That's the end of my turn.
That's the end of your turn. Brachium, you are up.
Yeah. Hit her, baby.
All right, Brachium will just nod to him, and the light in the sky will flicker for a second as green energy flows out of my scythe, and I am going to twin cast Disintegrate.
All right.
I have to burn 6 sorcery points.
Mercy.
So I need Okia, and let's target Plant C over here. Both need to make me. What are the saves? Dexterity saving throws, DC 19.
All right. Well, let's start with Okia.
Well, that escalated quickly.
That is a 17. Okia fails that saving throw.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
And I think let me pull up the page for this creature.
Do you want to count the vulnerability? Do you count it as a natural 20 or just roll the dice twice?
Roll your damage, and then that's automatically doubled because she is vulnerable to it.
Ah, okay.
And if you have any more attacks, like I think you can do your BA with your wandering stones around your head, right?
Yeah, my crown of stars.
That will also get double too, because it's all damage you do in this round against her. She's vulnerable to.
And C rolled a nat 20, -1,
Yep.
bringing it to a 19. So what is the DC on that save?
A 19.
A 19. Okay.
Yeah.
The plant with the vines is swinging itself around. You missed me.
Well, sort of. It takes half.
Don't. It takes half. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's get some damage
sure.
going.
It's a 6th level spell. I hope it does half. Yeah. So the plant will take half of 74.
Oh shit!
Damn.
She just took 148.
Oh well, I'm
Disintegrate.
gonna
It hits like a truck.
I'm gonna roll her damage in a second because they're technically.
Oh, that's right. They're separate.
Yeah, I'm twinning it, so it's technically casted twice.
Roll higher, please, please.
All right.
please.
So the
Plants.
next roll for her
Takes a
is
total
75. Oh,
100.
36.
Yes.
How much damage does she?
Oh, he's not done. That's 150 right now.
From disintegrate is 150 for her. So
also,
she's still.
if she dies, she automatically gets turned to dust.
Yeah. If she's still standing, I'll keep going.
No. Does anyone speak deep speech?
Oh, jeez.
No.
No.
No, of course not.
No, that'd be Kobar and another game.
There is a word that is yelled out right as she withers and decays like a plant would. Just becomes like if you've ever left something out to watch it decay, but it does that in quick time. Just very rapidly decaying into a plant. Not as a flesh. There's even the skeletal structure as it decays down before it turns to dust appears to be plant-like.
I just sprayed weed killer on this thing. All right.
Race some more.
All right. Good job. You just killed the only person that can control the plants.
Yep. Time to kill them.
Now they're on the.
Oh,
now,
wait a minute. Does that mean
now
the
they
plants are gonna
now they
start
don't have
attacking
to
the others?
listen. Now they don't have to listen to her.
Well, no, because she's dead.
They now have their free will back.
Oh no.
And then I will use my crown of stars as my bonus action to shoot a bolt at A over here.
Okay.
Let's spread out damage a little bit, make it easier for them to die. All right, and it'll do 4d12 radiant. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Is it
30 points of radiant.
Does it automatic hit?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to roll the hit. I apologize. So that is 27 to hit.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Yeah. You want me to re-roll the damage or just keep the ones up?
We'll keep that. It was 30, right?
Yeah, 30 to A right here. Man, I'm flying with dragon wings and shooting green rays out of my scythe.
All right.
And throwing falling stars.
Yeah.
You're
I
really
just
sticking
need
to that moniker of death. from
Yeah, I
last
just
game.
need to activate my platinum shield. Well, I can't activate it now. I used my 6th level spell. But if I had platinum shield on, I'd be covered in silvery mist. I'll just thumbs up to Grave, and Do I seem out of reach of the things below me?
At 30 feet, as far as you can tell, yes.
Okay.
There's only about 10 more feet, 15 more feet till you hit the ceiling.
Yeah. How about this? I fly up and closer to the orb, so if anything tries to shoot at me, they'll have to stare at the sun. I'll just look away from it. If that seems a viable option.
Okay.
So, say like right about here. Is it in the center of the?
Yeah, it's almost right here.
Okay, so I'll just be about here.
It
And
is
would you say I'm
probably
like
the whole orb is probably got a diameter of about 15 feet.
Oh, okay, so about there then.
Yeah.
So would you say then I'm like 40 feet in the air now if I'm like hovering next to it?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too much of a distance for me to fly. So, oh, I almost put 400. I am gone.
All right.
All
So
right, that'll end it for me.
we'll start with Grave. A vine lashes out. Oh, you bastard! Fucking rolls off in that 20.
What is with you and nat
2.
20s on me, man? Jesus.
So this vine slashes out, and you just catch it out of the corner of your eye as you're dealing with these two other creatures.
Mm-hmm.
One of the vines went towards you. The other one goes towards Scraps, or one of the other ones goes towards Scraps.
Okay.
And Scraps, you can take an attack of opportunity against it if you would like, because you saw it coming, obviously. As I rolled
I
a
actually-
1.
I'm actually in the interdimensional space. I can't attack, or it cannot attack me.
But it still reaches out towards you.
Okay.
And then the third one is going to Pobar.
Oh, hello.
With a 23 to hit Pobar.
I activate shield. My armor class is now 26.
All right. So B, all 3 tentacles come up and try swiping towards Brachium, but he's out of reach.
Go figure.
Oh, but Robbie's not for C. And all 3 of them are going to come to him.
Okay, one thing though. When the Okia died, because she was cursed by my head's blade, I got 6 points of HP back.
Okay.
Just so if you see me higher HP now, it's because of that.
The first vine swings out for a 13. The second vine swings out for a 26 to hit.
That one will hit.
And then the third one swings out for a 19 to hit. Does that one hit?
Sorry. Sorry, I muted myself. No.
19 doesn't hit?
No. Because I use shield.
Oh, okay. Well. So at least the the vine that does hit, you take 10 points of damage, of slashing damage, and you are grappled.
Here we go again on my own.
A
Why
grappled
do I have
creature's
a feeling?
speed becomes a 0. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grapple from the reach of the grappler or grappling effect, such as being hurled away by a Thunderwave spell.
So force movement.
Until the grappling ends, you are also restrained, which means attack rolls against the creature that you make are at a disadvantage, and the creature that's got you has an advantage, and you are at disadvantage on saving throws.
Okay, but any force movement can end the grapple, right?
Anything that would similar to, yes, it has to be something like along the lines of it would have to break the DC of the grapple.
One question. Misty Step.
Misty Step would allow you to escape the grapple
Okay, thank you.
on your turn.
I know, but I'm asking. Sorry.
So we're gonna mark you as we're gonna use red for grappled. Ileana,
Yes.
it is your turn. Back to you.
Oh,
Finally.
how kind. Okay, so
Oh, son of a.
what the heck? I've got advantage. I'm gonna shoot C since that's the one that's got my party member grappled. Thankfully, I have advantage. 19 to hit.
Yep, 19 will hit.
Okay. Oh, maximum damage 14 from Eldritch Blast. Oh, and it has actually 2 beams, so I have to do that again. Oh,
The second one does
crit.
not hit. Oh, you have advantage. That's right. That's a crit.
Uh-huh. That's a natural 20. So it's going to be 14 plus 14, 28.
Don't you love Agonizing Blast?
Yeah. It's an extra 4 points at this point, so yeah.
That definitely hurt that plant. You hear a
I feel
scream
effective for once.
from all of the individuals here.
Aha.
Not one of pain, but one of anger.
Fair enough.
Is that into your turn?
That just because I have the space for it, bonus action, I'll create magic stones.
Okay, and you can carry some with you?
I do. It's in
Okay.
my inventory.
Okay. All right.
That's it. That's the end of my turn.
Podling A no longer needs to come over there, so let's just make our way here.
Oh.
There. C swings at Grave.
Go away.
C misses. What the fuck? D swings at Popar. Oh, you bastards. E, because nobody can fucking hit anything. Makes his way back to Pobar and swings. Pobar, you see an opening.
Okay, well, let me swing with, where's my dagger? That is not the spot I wanted. Why is it never adds, I've had the dagger do this like 3 times and get rid of it. I think I have one over. There it is. It's my magic dagger. Rolling, 23
23 will hit.
for 6 damage.
Yeah, you definitely saw an opening. You dug that dagger in deep. You've stabbed people before. It happens in this line of business. You know that feeling. And you've also stabbed the wooden straw dummies in the training room. It feels closer to stabbing a dummy than it does a person. Like it's got that plant, like you were stabbing into a tree. It's it feels like stabbing into soft wood that dug in deep. E is really bad off.
I pull out my carpenter's tools.
F
Let's go.
is gonna try to knock the crap out of Robbie, but the tentacle is moving around too much. The vine is moving around too much for him to get a swing in. G is gonna try to pop Robbie. That is a 18 to hit.
Because my turn hasn't come, my AC is 23 right now.
Wait a minute. He has advantage. You're grappled. We're gonna go skip that. There's too many guys here. He's too high up. H is going to start to make his way around. I. Get there. J is going to come here and try to pop Robbie. And that is a nat 20 to hit Robbie. That's for a whopping 9 points of damage, Robbie.
Oh wow.
K is gonna try to pop grave. Oh, fuck you, dice.
Well, now my temporary hit points are gone. Thank you, Captain.
I was gonna turn around and try to pop grave. $14 to hit does not hit. Pobar, you're up. Go ahead and just tell me which ones you're killing now. Apparently, I can't roll. I can't roll that high tonight.
Let me see. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave again on E, A, B, and D. They're all within the box.
They are. How nice of them.
Saving throws.
Fail. Fail. What's the DC?
Well, that was get damage. 18.
Fail and fail, but just barely.
Oh my gosh.
So all
Well,
four of them,
they all take 10 damage.
and they all get pushed back 10 feet. Oh, that's only 5.
Back up, you bastards.
They all take 10 damage. I rolled shit for damage. I rolled for the main thing. I rolled 6, 2 1s and a 4, and they only got the 10 because of arcane fire.
Well, it sets up Brachium to drop a fireball there and hit B, A, C, D, and B. All 4 or 5 of those guys.
Yeah, I was thinking something
That was my plan.
Sure it was.
D's now
Well,
looking
being-
really
I-
hurt.
Actually, it was
And
either
all right, as you do this, you see A, B, and D be pushed back. They're fighting against it, anime style, where the blast just hits them and pushes them back. E, on the other hand, is trying to resist, and the amount of damage that had already been done, E is blown into a mist of milky, sappy slurry that goes back like a balloon full of paint hitting a wall.
yes.
Who was that?
Slow Bros.
So A is covering goo?
Yeah.
Oh. Okie doke. Well, with the last of my turn, I will give my allies some new temporary hit points because Robbie has lost his. Everyone gains who has. Well, Robbie gets 14 temporary hit points. I don't know if Scrap is.
Nope, no magical effects.
Okay, so Robbie, you got 14 temporary hit points.
Ooh, thank you.
Is that end your turn, Popar?
Yep.
All right, Scraps.
That ends my turn.
Okay. I'm gonna need. So Robbie can get out with Misty Step. Is that correct?
You
Or
don't
is that
know that?
metagaming and I should?
That's, you
Yeah,
have
that'd be
no
okay.
clue.
That's metagaming.
If you
and
have
not.
to ask, you don't know.
Okay. Okay, got it. All right. Well, concerning all the enemies in that area anyway, I'm gonna just briefly stick my head out and cast Vortex Warp. You magically twist space around another creature, make a Constitution saving throw. He can fail if he wants to, and I can teleport him into an unoccupied space of my choice within 90 feet. So, Robbie, do you choose to fail it or not?
Sure. Put me with Grave.
That's actually what I wanted to do. So right around here, if possible.
No, I will say, but
Scraps, you pick the spot. Robbie, you do not get a choice in this.
I'm gonna say because it'd be away from the trees themselves, at least as far as I would want it to be. So like right here.
Well, isn't
All
that
right.
just a nifty little spell?
So Robbie gets moved over there. He is no longer grappled.
All right. And then I go back into my space and end my turn.
The only thing I had that could get rid of that space is lying in a puddle on the ground. Robbie, you are now teleported over. You see two of these podlings, well, three actually, trying to get to Grave, but Grave is very valiantly just knocking him off with his shield. Just tink, tink, tink. Doing that, where he's just blocking, not even looking at them, blocking their attacks.
He's going all Matrix.
Well, I'm gonna move. He put me in a very bad spot to get advantage. So first of all, I'm gonna take care of the. I don't know if that's a L. I think
that's L. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Oh God.
Okay. $11 to hit.
11 hits.
Wait, what? For real?
They're not wearing armor. They're just wearing simple clothes.
That will be 7 damage. $11 to hit.
Yep.
Thank you. And that will be 14 damage.
You come through and you, with the blades swiping across and bringing it back down, you shave. You actually dig your blade into the side of this guy. As his arm's up, you catch it under the arm and dig it into the body. Probably about halfway through. Imagine an axe getting buried real deep. That's kind of what happened. That's the feeling it was. As you've drawn your sword, this just milky white substance just kind of spurts all over the place.
Ew.
This guy's looking pretty bad.
Ew. Well, then I'm gonna bonus action Hunter's Mark. I should have done that first.
Okay. Is that in your
I
turn?
know. Yep, that ends my turn.
All right, Marcus.
By the power of Zendis protect me, I will cast Shield of Faith upon myself. And that's all. If I move anywhere, that's going to be at least 3 attacks of opportunity. Fuck. Shit. Nope. Done. That's all I can do for now.
That's it?
I looked at Robbie and I'm like, hey, next time, kill the one that's flanking me.
And Brachium, you're up.
All right. So I'm going to yell down to Pobar and say, sir, would you have a problem with a fireball?
Oh no, I'm thinking the same thing.
Excellent. All right, so just a little fireball right in this kind of area. Probably starting about here, should be able to reach all these guys and not hit Pobar.
Where are you centering it?
30-foot radius.
Right about here, I believe. Let me double check my measurements. Yes, so right about here. And
Well,
it should reach.
let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, you god damn.
Citizen.
Just nicely centered.
Just perfectly centered. There's just
Oh, yeah,
enough
I was-
space to do that. I'll keep that in mind for next time.
Yeah. I was planning on doing that before he pushed all of them out there, but I mean, it worked too because I was just going to miss E. But hey, it doesn't matter because I'm still missing E because he's dead.
All right, so deck saves from A fails. I didn't even roll it and I can tell it. Oh no, he got a 18.
19 is the save, though.
Failed. All right, so B failed. D failed. And then plant B it's probably gonna fail too. Yeah, failed. So all of them failed.
Excellent. See, this is a 5th level.
Oh, wait a
spell.
minute. A, I didn't roll for A.
Oh.
I don't know. I could just say I knew it was going to happen. He failed as well.
Yeah. All right. So let me roll that
I'm going
fire
to
damage.
start with
real
the
quick.
podlings and then move to the plants.
All right. That is 29 points of fire damage.
Okay. So
I wonder if they're susceptible to fire.
29 points. A disappears. B disappears. D disappears.
Excellent.
Let me mark them off of my sheet here. A.
I just sped up the turn order.
D. D. All right. Fuck. My dice rolls are sucky. All right, now, and that was how many points?
29.
29. Oh! A is gone.
Brilliant.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, let's just gonna. And B is singed but not happy.
All right.
That
Well,
sucks. That so sucks.
Yeah.
Well, because they were lined up in such a perfect spot that any of y'all that got into this spot was going to get hit. They could attack somebody. But now they have less coverage area. Does that end your turn?
No, I'll use my bonus action. B isn't bothering anybody, so I'm going to throw let's see, a radiant bolt at C. So let me see if this hits.
Come on.
Come on. That's a 15 plus 11. That's a 26, please.
To hit C?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
This nice big...
that hits.
All right. Let's see if I roll decent radiant. 21 radiant damage.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, you see a lot of sap and this viscous goo come pouring out of the side, where this like part of its body just kind of swelled up and burst. Is that your turn?
Yes, that will be it for Brachium.
All right.
These are a lot tougher than A was.
So, Pobar and Brachium. B, the vines come whipping out, swiping at both of y'all a good 5 feet away from you. Well, at least 5 feet away from Pobar. They're about 20 feet away from you, Brachium.
I just flipped the plant.
Scraps.
Damn it! Where's that?
Yes.
You are in range, and you're going to get swiped at. The first one, if you so choose, you see the first one coming quite easily. Ileana yells, "Heads up!" Just in time for you to see it. You see an opening. If you want to attack, you can swipe at it.
I cannot attack. I'm in the extra-dimensional space.
And so they can't attack you either.
No.
But they saw then in that case, never mind, because y'all watch as these these vines, I keep calling them tentacles, these vines come up and are trying to reach both you and Ileana, and they can't. Ileana, it is your turn.
Okay. I think I'm going to pretty much follow the same routine as last time. And I'm going to try to finish off C if possible, since it's taken nearly 50 points already. Eldritch Blast. See if we can hit.
Yep.
Even with advantage. That's a net 20.
Oh.
He did.
Let's get that first run of damage out of the way. So it's going to be 14
Let's go ahead and do that.
14 plus 14. I got the rolls tonight, so 28.
The vines are not as active as they were a minute ago. This thing is looking pretty beat up as this Eldritch Blast hits the front side where it had burst open, proceeds to make a exit on the other side as your Eldritch Blast bursts out the back side of it. And you know what? That Eldritch Blast also hits H,
Oh, jeez.
but it only does half.
Unintentional
But it only
piercing.
does it only does a portion of damage.
Okay. The C is still somewhat active, however.
Yeah, it's kind of
Okay.
yeah. It doesn't have a lot left in it.
Let's see how active it is after the second bolt. 12.
12. You end up clipping.
You have advantage.
Oh, that's right. Hold on. Dang it. Been. Oh, that's so much better. 25.
Yeah, that hit.
Beautiful.
That'll hit. And I will tell you
Yeah.
this before I look over and see that damage. Any damage that you have that goes over the number of hit points this plant has left will be carried over to H.
Well, I rolled 12 points.
So you do 12 points of damage to it?
Yes.
As this blast hits, it splits this maw where this flowering mouth would open up. It splits this creature right at that point, clipping H in the process. H looks pretty bad off. Not as as bad as some of the others, but it's hard to tell with all the sap and goo that is on him.
Well, he has been getting splattered by what's flying off
Yeah.
a sea, so I get that. All right.
But
that's going to be the end of my turn.
Now that creature is just laid open, and sap and goo, possibly digestive pouches style, just spread onto the ground. That ends your turn.
Yep.
That brings us to, where is this dude at? Oh, guess if I zoom in a little bit, I'll be able to see a little bit better. Brings us to C. Podling C swings at Grave. Grave has seen hardened battles, seen all kinds of things, but never seen anybody fight as poorly as these creatures that have been attacking him.
Oh my god.
Like, severely, these are worse than the worst recruits you've ever seen.
Beautiful. Beautiful commentary. Beautiful.
I recommend not conscripting these ones.
Where is... Did he already die off? I guess so. Let me get rid of that one, then. I don't see him. Does anybody see E?
Nope.
Nope.
Obar blew him apart with Thunderwave.
Ah, okay.
All right, I blew him up.
He was the first one to pop like a pimple.
Hey, Scraps, is your rope still hanging down?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Brought it back. I brought it up with me when I climbed up.
In that case, he's just going to go to Pobar.
Stop.
And swings. That is a 22
Hey,
to
butter,
hit.
butter, butter, butter.
That will hit, but shield.
Okay, so it doesn't hit.
So no.
You feel the force behind this, and you're like, wow, that's pretty good for, somebody who stands 5'3" and looks like a twig.
Literally.
Literally, it's a scrawny, it's a scrawny gnome that come up and just thudded that. G. I guess G's gonna come over here and swipe at you. Click on the button. Which that's a no. Oh, H is back here still. The hell happened, man? I don't know.
Be mildly shell shocked.
I swing. Oh, I comes in to grave. Swings. $22 to hit.
You just hit me.
Good. You don't have one of those like, oh, I cast this on myself. It gives me 700 extra armor class.
No, I just cast Armor Shield of Faith, so I have a 21.
You take Hey, I rolled max damage.
Okay.
8 points of damage.
All right, so I take 4 points because I still had 4 points of the temporary hits.
4 points of fuck you. I'm not taking this. All right. See, my problem, half of y'all are flying. So the only person they can get to. Oh no, this
fucking cleric.
No, Jay's coming to Pobar.
Stop.
It's a dirty 20 to hit you.
No.
No.
I'm sorry to ruin your dreams.
Yeah. This has been the worst dice night for me. The guys that can't hit are at least rolling high. The ones that would hurt you, well, I couldn't hit with them were shit. And this guy, fucking Grave is holding his own against these guys. It's amazing. L's gonna turn and try to pop Robbie because that hurt. That was a nat 20 to hit Robbie.
Oh no.
What does it matter? These guys don't hit worth shit. So with a nat 20,
Still has
that's 13 points, Robbie.
he's still got one left.
Man, it's his turn. Pobar. You've got 3 of these individuals on you.
Yes. Beautiful.
And H is over there, and nobody on the ground in your vicinity. Everyone, your allies are away from you and above you.
Thunderwave.
That's what I'm waiting for. You gonna Thunderwave them?
Yeah.
Yeah, figures.
He's our mower.
All right, so let's see. Dexterity save of 18,
Thank you,
correct?
Constitution.
Constitution save. I mean, I rolled dexterity last time. They get pluses and cons. All right. That's a fail. That's a fail. That one's a pass. So that was G.
Ah,
No, we got us a special one here.
Yeah, G passed. The other three failed.
well, the other three take 15. G takes 18. 8. I almost said 18. I'm like, yes, G
All right,
takes
G takes
more. He
8.
has threatened me.
All right. F is a pile of Q. As he explodes from this force. How many points did they take?
15.
15. H is a pile of goo. J is still standing. And G passed. All right.
Okay, so I can be a little help to Grave. I will take the attack of opportunity from Jay to be able to walk over here.
Okay.
G is not in a box, so I think I am still within its range.
Yeah, you're yeah, it would have technically been there. So yeah, you just walk around him.
Jay was pushed 10 feet.
No, Jay wasn't. Jay made the save.
Oh yeah, Jay was
No, Jay was pushed 10 feet.
No, G made the save.
G made the save, yep.
So I don't have to take attack out.
Nope.
So now that Graves within 10 feet of me, I pop my temporary hit points.
I don't think he's used them.
He gains 14. I'm rolling 9.
No, I did use them. That's why I
Oh
actually
yeah,
took
he just ran out.
But now I feel a lot better. I'm going to feel better in a second when I get my turn. I hope.
Oh yeah, just kick their asses.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to.
You know what this means. Y'all do understand what this means.
What does this mean?
This means next week y'all are fucked.
We've declared war.
Does that end your turn, Pobar?
Pobar just took another step here, so Grave has advantage.
Oh man!
Oh, thank you.
And
that'll be the end of my turn.
And he tried to, and nothing happened. So Scraps.
All right. I guess I'll attempt to hit. Is G still alive?
Yep.
Then I think I'm gonna have to hit him first.
He survived the blast. You must die.
So an unnatural 20.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit.
All right, and 5 damage.
G is now bloodied.
Okay, and then I scurry back into my portal.
All right. And that brings us to Robbie.
Well, first, let's finish the job. L is going to take attack. So that will be an 18,
Oh, that hits.
11 damage.
So
Just to make sure.
as L is still sitting there and kind of watching you and dealing with that, he takes a swing at Grave with his arm, and you step in, and you're using that Moon Touch rapier, right? Yes.
Longsword.
Longsword. Okay. So you still step in, and you catch the arm, and as the swing where you catch it, you pin the arm to the side of to the side of its head, and it just burst. And as he hits the ground, he dissolves into this pile of white, gooey substance.
Okay, bonus action. I'm gonna move my Hunter's Mark to K. I'm gonna move over here. And now I'm gonna attack with advantage to K. $26 to hit. That will be 11 plus Hunter's Mark. That will be 5 plus 1 plus, actually, because I didn't use the level 2, I'm gonna use a level 2 spell slot, so that will be 3d8. Okay, so the total will be
Unnecessarily spoken.
probably.
So as you
Okay.
So that last thing was a
17
smite,
plus
right?
5
The last thing
plus
was
11.
The last was part of that was a smite, correct?
Yes.
All right. So you dispatch L, swing around, spin, turn around, sticking in and moving up as you bring the power, the divine energy from the smite coursing through it. As it comes out, the friction from the blade, from the heat of this blade moving quickly and the divine energy flowing through it, sparks and catches this creature on fire as you pull the blade up and through from the shoulder. It burns brightly and hot and quick as that sap just burns in the air.
The power of sand destroys you.
The smell of burnt wood and sap fill the air. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
Marcus.
I call upon the power of Xanis. I am getting tired of these goddamn effing podlings. Hand comes up, starts getting reading this black flame, and he just goes forward to I and grabs him and basically vampiric touches him.
Okay.
Son of a bitch. I'm sick of dodging around like a freaking monkey. 11 to hit.
11 hits.
Yes! Now, takes 10 necrotic damage.
All right. As you do this, you see I'm sure you've seen this on a campfire or in a fireplace where the wood has been burning. The ash has stayed in spot, keeping that still keeping the look of the wood, but all ashy. and then you touch it and
yep.
it just kind of caves in on itself.
Oh yes.
This is what happens when you grab and with these black flames. It's like that it burns to a point where it's ash and then just starts to cave in on itself, leaving where you've grabbed at him. Just the shape of your hand burned deep into his body. He's still standing, but it hurt.
Cool. I just healed 5 points of damage too, so as his life force is transferred to me.
Okay. Does that end your turn?
Yep.
Brachium.
Yeah. All right. Hold on, I just got my connection back. Oh wow, these have had symbols on their tokens this entire time. They've all been black circles for me. All right. Brachium is gonna kind of fly around the orb.
Okay.
3, 4, 5. I'm gonna say he gets about right here. So he can see down onto all these guys.
Yep.
It's,
All 4 of them that are left.
yeah, B is still alive over here, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah, he's fine. He's just chilling.
All right, I'll worry about him later since he can't really reach us. Do any of these look like they have not been hit yet?
Let's see. The only one.
C has been hit.
C is covered in white, milky sap, but none of it appears to be his.
Okay. Then let's just do this. I'm going to twin cast a 5th level spell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On to C and G. Yeah, let's do C and G. And I'm going to cast Psychic Lance, so they need to make intelligence saving throws, please.
C and
How
G.
smart is the bark?
Good
C
luck.
and yeah. I feel like I will die soon with flanking here, so
Both of them fail.
interesting. Well then, and that's at a 5th level, so that will be all right. So they don't get their turns if they survive this. But let's just say G takes 19 psychic, and C takes 30 psychic.
And what exactly is this?
Psychic Lance. They become incapacitated until the start of my next turn, so they cannot take actions or reactions.
As you start to do the spell, and the sheer will of your mind invading these and stunning him, basically stunning them. You may have used a little too much force. Has anyone seen the movie Trancers?
Yep, I have.
Scanners too.
Scanners is even better.
Yep. I've seen that one. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah, it seems there's been a popping sound as these creatures' heads explode and their bodies dissolve into a white, messy goo.
Basically, Brachium just slashes in the air twice, and 2 slashes appear, kind of like behind their heads, like cutting their
It's
spinal
like an
cords.
anime. They stand there for just a second and then. Yeah.
And then Bracken will look at Jay behind him and shoot one of his uh, starry bolts down at him.
Okay.
That'll do 24, or hit with a 24.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
And then it will deal, come on, high rollers, not bad, 23 points of damage.
So where did you hit this guy at?
I basically look down at him and I spin my scythe just quickly to slap one of the stars to blast right down on top of his head.
All right.
ID4.
This star that's been floating around you shoots down. As he looks up at you, it hits dead center. And you can see it burrowing its way all the way through. For a split moment, as you glance down, you see this hole drilled perfectly through this creature from one end to the other. As you watch as it starts to slump and turn to this plant sap and spread slowly out on the ground beneath you.
Just nod my head and my turn.
And plant flails. Fucking guy all by himself over here, can't move. You do hear the
Oh, good Lord.
sound that you've never heard, just this guttural sound, very similar to what these podlings running around, what they scream. Ileana.
No, we're back. Okay.
Yes, we're back.
Back again.
I'm gonna say I is pretty well handled. So let me see here.
I somehow cuts down Pobar and Grave.
That would be
I
sudden
rolled
and
nothing but
shocking.
natural 20s from this point out.
That would suck.
Just goes assassin mode.
Wow. Just to get things warmed up. Let me double check my distance real quick.
Warmed
oh
up.
yeah. Yep. Let's have B over here make a dex save for me.
Sure. We can do that.
DC is 15.
12.
Okay. Let's see what we've got. A garbage roll, but 9 points of radiant from Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame.
And that will be the extent of my turn this round.
All right. Dead. Still alive. Pobar or Grave.
The ungrateful dead.
I get one attack and I have my choices are Pobar or Grave.
The hardest ones to hit.
And it
I
sounds
think
like his attack won't be strong. Break their temporary hit points.
yeah, these guys are the weaklings. So yeah, we're gonna go for Grave. And yeah, Grave is just these guys are horrible. Pobar.
Well, turns on. Let's go give it to you.
We'll give it to you. Knock, knock.
Just me and freaking Grave beating the shit out of this guy. If I hit with this dagger. Well,
For
because
so-
I have advantage, that's an 11.
And that'll hit.
Steady, steady.
Good, because the other one was natural 1. I take 6 damage. I went right for the Achilles tendon. Yeah.
Yeah, you hurt him. He is bloodied.
And that's all I can do.
All right, Scraps, you're up.
I'm gonna try one thing simply because I can. I'm gonna
plants.
try to hit B with Vortex Warp. It needs to make a con save, DC 13.
Ooh, con, something it's good at.
It's supposed to be anyway.
Unless you roll a fucking 4. So yeah, he fails.
Okay. So let's see here. It is so far 30 feet from me. Can I put it at least 60 feet in the air?
No, the ceiling's only about 45.
Then I'll put it to the height of the ceiling and drop it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
I don't know what it does. You'll have to.
Give me 1 second. The chosen space must be on a surface, so I'm using it liberally, but the surface could be the bottom of the roof.
Okay.
Do you want to rule that as a possibility?
Yeah, I'll roll. That's a surface.
Okay. Then I will do that and drop it.
It doesn't say flat surface, in my opinion, and it's a surface. Okay, what does it do?
There we go. I simply just teleport it to the bottom of the roof, and it just the spell stops, so it just drops it.
Oh, you teleport the plant to the bottom of the roof.
Mm-hmm. Roots
Okay.
and all.
It is now attached to the roof. Still a place where it can't hit us.
Yeah. Fuck you. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't attach to the roof. I gotta look something else up on it though.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the spell doesn't specify a load-bearing surface either.
Here's the question: when a tree falls from the roof and nobody's around,
But there are people around to hear it.
Please don't tell me it screams in terror. I will feel bad.
It does.
I will
it does,
genuinely feel bad.
It does scream, but you can't tell what it's doing. It makes it speaks, but you can't understand what it's saying.
Oh no.
So it's what is it? A D6 per 10 foot?
Mm-hmm.
And we can go ahead and round it up. Oh, do you want me to roll that, or do you want to roll that?
Oh, you can.
Okay. It takes a nice chunk of fall damage as it falls to the ground.
Crunch, snap.
Nice.
Does that end your turn?
Yes, I go back
there
into my
are
portal.
protruding branches, or things are sticking out of this plant in unusual ways.
Okay.
Things don't look quite as natural anymore.
Well, yeah, half the place is on fire. Half the place is covered in white stuff.
Technically, we can study its botany now from root to branch. Just saying.
Robbie, you're up.
Well, I'm gonna go over here, jump, and attack the one that is over here. Actually, bonus action, I'm gonna move my Hunter's Mark to him first.
All right.
And a 10 to hit.
No, he steps out of the way, but you do scrape along the clothing that he's wearing.
Then, okay, I got mad and I got a 19.
Yeah, but on the backswing.
Then that will be 9. And 2. And because it moved, for real. Okay, so that will be 11, 15 damage.
You cut back through. As the blade leaves, Podar swings his dagger up, catching the guy in the head. Grave just takes the shield, buckles its knees with it, and he goes down and slowly dissolves into a pile of goo. Oop, that's sorry. I was trying to kill Pobar's character.
Jeez, man. Jeez, if you don't want me around, I'll leave.
Marcus, you're up.
Is B still moving?
Yes.
Okay.
We're
I
past
will. Hopefully this puts out his misery. I will. It needs to make a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, please.
A Wisdom saving throw.
Yes, Wisdom saving throw.
Ring that bell.
Yep.
How wise.
Ring the bell.
How many rings are on this tree?
Which it fails, of course, because Buck, I can't roll anything higher than a 9. Seems.
Oh, that's good.
I hear the roll really good
That's
or really bad.
well. I rolled really good to make up for your bad roll, so I got 21 necrotic damage to it.
It's still moving. You can see the decay starting to take hold of it.
Someone finish this thing off and put it out of its misery.
Right.
Brachium, you're up.
Did someone say finish it off? Brachium just kind of floats over, looks down at this thing, and just shakes its head. And it'll first, I'll first send a bolt of my crown of stars down on him. Oh wow, that's a 15.
It does not hit. The
Wow.
star actually hits a piece of like solid bark and bounces off.
Huh.
Well, that's new.
Yeah, Brachium just scratches his head. Huh. I wasn't expecting
Was-
that. Okay.
Well,
main
when
action.
all of your
okay,
other
when it's-
attacks are over 25, you know,
Right, and-
it's nice to
well,
get
I
a
just
low
rolled
one
a
every now
4.
and then.
I know. Well, yeah, I mean that was a 4. So, so Brachium then will just kind of shake his head and then slash in the air with Psychic Lance at 4th level. Intelligence saving throw, DC 19, please.
Couldn't you just magic missile the poor son of a bitch?
Good, but this
And
is
It's better.
roll your damage.
No, Mom, he's my dog. I'll take care of it.
All your
20
thoughts are belong to us.
So that was 25 points of damage from this lance.
Yeah, 25 psychic.
First of all, I would like to say fuck all of you. Uh,
Love you too.
Yeah. as this thing
Gonna
convulses,
terrorize us.
the vines whipping out madly for a moment, and then they slowly, one by one, tremble and then hit the ground. There's no movement. There's silence. Just the smells now of slight decay mixed with that sweetness from the flowers and the fruits that are in this garden.
That and the half that's on fire.
Actually, the fire goes out fairly quickly.
I guess it's time to do a thorough search investigation of the area to see if we find anything. To make sure there's nothing else dangerous in here.
Yeah, that was my thought.
The only person I think we should really have to check, other than the big plant creatures, is the. I forgot her name. She disappeared so fast.
Yeah.
Did I ruin plans there, Lee, with that little move?
That
Because
definitely
I'm pretty sure she would have
that definitely
changed things.
changed a few things.
Yeah.
This went from a night where we could possibly die to a night to where, no.
Brachium will actually go down and check to see this pile of ash. Any magic items would survive disintegrate. So I'm wondering if she had anything on her.
As you search her, give me an investigation roll.
Okay.
Can I use prestidigitation to give me advantage as I blow away the ash?
No.
Darn it. All right. I was worth it. Investigation, you said?
Yep.
That is a 3.
That is a 3.
Yeah.
No, you don't find anything on her.
Well, I'm going to investigate the tree that is mostly intact.
So
Hold on a second.
Hold on. Who's got the highest investigation? The
I
highest
have a
plus.
+3.
I have a plus
I
5.
have a plus 10.
You have
Oh, yep,
a
that'd
plus
be you.
10 investigation. Roll with advantage. As this is y'all are
Let's do this.
as y'all are searching
Oh,
the entire
no.
building.
I rolled a 2 and a 1. So that's a 12 and an 11.
Wait, why don't you cast Detect Magic?
What?
It should still be on, actually.
Because anything that's magical
Hey.
should glow, and you should be able to find it.
I didn't cast any other spells that would disrupt the concentration. I didn't get hit, so Should still be running.
So this is what y'all find searching the area. What you do find is a chest that is over here.
Okie dokie.
It is a
I
fairly
found a loot crate.
it is a fairly large chest.
Is it giving off
Hold
magic?
on.
Like,
Hold.
okay.
I need each of y'all to roll. I'll tell you if something's magical here in a second, because it's randomly generated.
I was mostly asking like for traps.
Oh no, it is not. It is not trapped. All right.
Okay.
So let's just start this in the same order we had initially. Ileana, roll a d12 for me, please.
1d12. That's an 8.
An 8. So within these are all going to be items y'all find in the chest. So
Who's keeping track?
I will.
Okay.
one of these items is a clear vial containing a viscous green ichor. It is scentless and labeled with a pleasant sunflower.
Okay.
It is not showing off as magical.
Gotcha. Not magical.
Pobar, give me a d12.
Okie doke, let's do this. And Dad needs a chimichanga. That's an 11.
11. A string of 4 small pewter flasks, and each of those contain a caramel scented brew. This one has got a slight magical to it.
Okay.
Will I be able to know what school it is?
You could. I will give me a quick Arcana roll.
Okay, well, with Detect Magic, it tells me what
I
type of
don't
school
remember,
magic.
and this is just faster and easier to see if you instantly recognize what it is. You instantly recognize
29.
you instantly recognize these as 4 potions of healing.
Yeah, so
Okay. Got it. 4 potions of healing.
Scraps, give me a d12.
A 7.
A 7. You find another bottle, small, marked with a fish glyph, and smells like the low tide. With that 29,
Okay.
you also, with that Pobar had, I'll say y'all know that this is a potion of water breathing.
Okay.
yeah.
Makes sense.
Robbie,
Okay.
D12.
I got the 12.
This item is definitely casting off magic. It is an open-faced helmet embossed with an image of a fish curving from the ear to the jawline.
Pretty.
Give me a second and I will tell you what school of magic. Divination is the school of magic.
would I be able to roll an Arcana check to see if I know what type of magic item
Yeah,
this
go
is?
ahead and give me one, just in the spirit of making it faster.
16.
16. You're not quite sure.
Hmm. Got nothing. I'll have to do some more research.
Marcus.
Okay. I got a whopping 5.
5.
Lucky number 5.
You find a small spool of gold thread on a silver bobbin with gems. Altogether, you figure this is worth about 28 gold and 9 silver.
Okay.
All right, Brackium. Give me that D4.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
D4?
D12.
Okay, I was going to say.
I was
Like, oh,
reading
okay.
something and it said 1D4, and that's just what came out.
I also got an 11.
All right. The rest of the items in the box that y'all find, well, you find this among the items: a collection of small jars, and barrels. This is, I told you, it's a big box. Used to brew beer. A set of scales and pouches and weights. Pouches of wheat, yeast, and spices. A copper chalice stamped with a drake and a griffin. A lock box with the lock busted containing 50 gold. And a recipe for White Dragon Pale Ale.
Ah, nice.
Sweet.
You do
So-
know that the White Dragon is one of the taverns in town.
Wonder if it's a lost recipe.
So give us a reward for returning it.
So copy it and give it back. All right, got it.
The rest of the
Copyright
items
laws apply
that you find in the box are very mundane. Some different clothes of various sizes. Some gardening tools, but nothing else of value.
Wait, free clothes? Scraps is taking that.
Okay. Okay. So now that y'all have done that, and we're gonna go ahead and y'all don't go anywhere. But for the game, that's pretty much the game. If you want to find out what happens from here, come over and check us out on the Discord. You can actually come into the channel where we're chatting and find out what's going on next and what this is going to lead to. Until next time, let me get over here where y'all can actually see me. So until next time, thank you for watching, and go forth and roll some dice. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Adios.